All right. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Turgon the Wise, aka Grumpy, coming at you today with a new video. This is my last video covering the Megaserver. The Megaserver has officially ended. Yes, it is finished. By this time tomorrow, they will all be migrating to join Yudes in Bag End forever. I'm just kidding. That's crazy. Um, so before we do anything in this video, I just want to first congratulate everyone on the server. Wow, like what an epic server it's been. I mean, for me as a casual observer, like a third party observer, I mean, the first half of this season I was busy with Yudes, couldn't really participate much or at all. And then the last 2, 3 weeks, I had some opportunities to play a little bit more, and I'm super grateful for my opportunity to be able to pilot this fine account in lame. I really appreciate that opportunity very much, and I did have an alt on the server somewhere in Arnor. I think I logged into it like maybe 3 times all season for a total time played of like 10 minutes or something like that. So, um, yeah, so let's get into it, eh? Let's check out this map. So the first thing that I want to just showcase about this map is at a macro level, just looking at all the colors that still exist on this map. I mean, you're on a server with 8 elite teams in the game, and you see more than just 4 colors. Sure, we got pink, we got teal, we've got navy blue, dark blue, turquoise, whatever you want to call this, and then we got the light blue. Those are your 4 major kingdoms. Angmar with Toby and Steppe, Arnor with Merc and Gods, Gondor with Panda and Bear, and Erebor with Lame and Order. But you also have Loth, you also have Rune, you also have down here Mordor. So the only factions that were completely wiped off of this map were Rohan and Linden. Everyone else survived, and I think that that's really cool. I personally am an empathetic man, and I appreciate benevolence. And how easy would it have been for Erebor to just, you know, take all this? How easy would it have been for, excuse me, for Gondor to take this too? It shows, a level of benevolence that I think is cool. And I understand, and I'm not saying this, in a way to like disparage what Angmar and Arnor did, because for a long time they were kind of splitting this farm out here, and they couldn't really, for a time, match up against the pure crazy amount of farm that they were going up against. Because, like, think about it, Erebor, and I think I talked about this in one of my previous videos. Erebor has the majority of the farm in this entire sector of the map. I mean, you look at this map and you can pretty clearly see the 3 sectors. This is the eastern sector. This is the line between the east and the west, and then here's the line between the east and the south. And yeah, they could have taken all these to get more farm, but they had enough. And then down here you can see the southern sector. Really, the southern sector is along this line, and Merc came in here and got a little bit. I'm sorry, not Merc, but Merc and Gods. Arnor came down here and got a little bit extra farm, and Angmar came down here and got a little bit too. But otherwise, Angmar and Arnor were splitting the farm in this sector, while Gondor and Erebor basically had the majority of an entire sector's farm to themselves. So I threw some numbers around, like waxing hypothetically, a couple videos about this, but like, you know, 2 teams taking all the farm in a sector, in this sector, and then 4 teams that just put them at a strong material disadvantage, and probably made it so they felt like they couldn't really compete at all. Now let's go and look at some of these pins. The first, I want to look at some of these little pins just to show you that, these pins matter. And I like to look at the map, and I call this outer ring here the donut. And then on day 10, I'm sorry, day 5, the passes in this inner donut opens up. The outer donut opens up on day 10. The inner donut opens on day 5. And the central area, the ring regions, the little donut, I'll call it a lifesaver, that opens up on day 16, with DG itself opening up on day 23. So we got a little pin down here. We got a couple little pins over here and over here and over here and over here and over here. And that's cool. Let's start with this pin down here between Toby, Panda, Bear, Beer, and Step. 4.3 million deaths, 13.3 million participants. It's a 3-day pin over in the fold. And that's significant for sure. And then over here, we've got a pin, the 3 pins over around DG. This is the smallest of them, 1 million deaths, 2.7 million participants, but it's an old pin. But it may be an old pin, but it checks out. Just kidding, that's a meme. It's 21 days old, and this has basically been between Erebor and Gondor, in the area between Amon Blanc and Undeeps. And then the other pin is a 4.4 million pin between Erebor and Angmar, between Lothlorien and Southern Anduin Vale. Now, on a lot of servers, you don't, this is Arnor land. They wouldn't let another faction come in here. But in this case, there's collaboration between these groups, and I think that's cool. You like to see that. Because down here is the big pin, and everyone that's not Angmar, that's a big, part of the big factions, is here. So you see Angmar is here at the 4.4 and here at the 4.3. So they are definitely highly active. But then over here, the 27.2 million deaths pin, 72.7 million participants, 7 days. And it's got everyone: Lame, Bear, Order, Panda, Gods, Merc, Orca, Beer, Orme, Weak. Unaffiliated even got some action, annoyed. That is a crazy pin, especially when you consider that this is a pin that's 7 days old, and this is day 57, folks. Like, seasons that go 57 days must feel absolutely like a marathon. Because on seasons that begin on a Friday, you're done on like the moment it turns to day 54, the season's over. It's basically a 53-day season. But when you start on a Tuesday, you go 57 days. So you start on a Friday, it's basically a 7-week season plus a handful of days. You start on a Tuesday, you get an 8-week season plus 1 day. That's crazy. And for the level of competition and activity to be sustained for this amount of time it's epic. It's absolutely epic. So I just wanted to congratulate everyone on the server, tip my cap to all the leaders for the incredible jobs that you did, because I'm sure it wasn't easy. Being a leader on servers like this is stressful. Um, it's almost impossible for it not to be. I don't even need to know the details to know that. So, major kudos to all the leaders on this server, um, for being here, for participating. Let's check out the leaderboard here. Raven on top. Arguably, I think it's pretty hard to say that, Raven is probably the top player in the world. If he's not the top player in the world, if someone's going to argue against that, then he's certainly in the top 5. Okay? Maybe not necessarily the top account, because I'm sure there are players out there who have spent a gajillion dollars, but this guy has an amazing account, and just he knows this game on a level that very few people know it. And I got to tip my cap to this guy. I just wanted to give him a moment in the spotlight. Well, just looking down a little bit at some of these folks with all this farm. Yay, farm. And the first occupation, I think it's cool to look at first occupation too, just to kind of get a sense of how fast these tiles are being taken. You see Raven was the first one to take a 10. Raven's the first one to take an 11, and he is like 45 minutes ahead of everyone else. So that kind of just reinforces my point about how insane this guy is. And the merit leaderboard echoes that. I mean, one can say, oh, well, you can farm, but can you fight? He does everything, dude. Like 13.7 million merit on a server full of whales and kraken is disgusting. In a good way. That's amazing. Like I tip my cap to this guy. Absolutely incredible. And not to take anything away from this gentleman from Order, um, who had 11.3 million, or Isaac with 10.4. You're getting 10 million merit on a server like this. You're an incredible player. Ricky Spanish, I got no respect for you. I'm just kidding. I love you, Ricky. 8.8 million for Ricky. Congratulations. That's also incredible. The Beast, Thumper, Dumbo, Zolu, Cutie Pie, Fellow of the Kids, rounding out your top 10. 7.8 million is number 10, while 13.7 is your number 1. That's a pretty decent spread from 1 to 10. But when you continue going down this list and you realize there are 21 players with 7 million merit on the server. That's insane. Keep going down the list. How many players do you think have 6 million merit? The answer is 49. That's insane. The server ended 3 hours ago, so these numbers are not inflated by really any stretch of the imagination. And if I wouldn't be surprised if everyone just stopped, like it's done, the server's done. No one wants to do shit anymore. So, and then you look, how many players had 5 million? 5 million merit. The answer is 90 frickin' 4. I mean, the bottom of the top 100 was at 4.9 million merit. That's insane. That is, this is one of the craziest servers that I've ever seen. So again, I just want to reemphasize how grateful I am just to be able to be here and show you all this. I'm very grateful for that opportunity. So thank you for taking the time to watch my videos and support me. And thank you to Lame Leaders, to Mwad, for giving me the opportunity to help pilot this account. Did I make a big impact on their season? Um, I'd like to believe that I helped enough to help them win. But honestly, like in the grand scheme of things, compared to the amount of time that the other person playing this account plays it, it was a drop in the hat. So I just logged in a little bit in the evenings and helped out while my man slept, kept the barracks running, doing those little things that co-pilots should do um, to help. But I was not, by any stretch of the imagination, running this account or being a great pilot, but I definitely contributed, especially this last week or two here. Um, so that's your leaderboard. That's your season. Congratulations to everyone. Job well done. Go and enjoy some time away from your devices. Spend some time with your families. Get some work done. Breathe. Sleep. Relax. For the teams that are joining me on the server that I'm hoping will be starting in the next week or so here, I'm really looking forward. I'm really excited and looking forward to hanging out with y'all and playing the game. Let's get some big fights, some big pins. I don't know about 27 million battle pin on the last day of the season, but that is a worthy goal to aspire towards. Um, having top 100 with the bottom of the top 100 at 4.9 million. That's crazy. I would love very much if we could get more teams involved. Um, right now, there is at least enough teams committed for 3 kingdoms, and there are other teams considering that could get it as high as 5 kingdoms, but I'd really love to get a sixth kingdom on the server. As you can see, there is 4 factions here. Factions is the appropriate word for rebuilding glory. I'm looking to play a Rings of Power season. There's a Tactics Evolved season that's going to start on the 16th that is not in scope for the server will be wanting to join because there are teams that are finishing on the 17th that are in scope, so can't start a server on the 16th if there are teams involved that get done on the 17th. So idealistically, I'd like to get started as early as the 19th if there's a Rings of Power that will be starting on that date. I would love to have more teams involved. Um, it's not the kind of server where we're going to have 9 big teams and we can do, like I said in one of my other videos, you could have one team in each starting area, and then you could have 3 teams fighting within each respective sector, and that would be probably some pretty good fights for a lot of the season right there. But with partners and kingdoms, I think the sweet spot is 12. That's what you want to be able to facilitate a 2v2 in each of these starting areas, the west, the south, and the east. And then you get a lot of fighting within that sector, and who knows what happens, once the 10-day pass is open. Maybe the fighting all continues to just be within the sector. Maybe some teams break out. You don't know what's going to happen, and it's not something that you control really. So we see what happens. But I need more teams to make it super fun and interesting. So if anyone has any interest in this, please shoot me a message on Discord, Turgon9699. Hit me up. Big teams, mid-sized teams, anyone. Um, right now, the plan is for the elite teams to pair off with mid-level teams. But I think if 2 mid-level teams came and joined as partners, they could still be formidable, depending on which teams that may be. So something to consider. Um, really appreciate everyone. I try to think of myself as a big cheerleader and ambassador for this game. Love this game very much. I'm sad to hear after each season people leaving the game for a variety of different reasons. And I just want to pay my respects to any of those folks who are leaving the game. I want to give shout outs to all of the leaders of all the teams on the server. Yurte, King Under the Mountain, and your team over with Toby is an elite team. Senko and your folks with Step, outstanding job working as the faction of Angmar this season. Super proud of you guys. Arnor with Merc and Gods, Seafreen, Ares, Hazy, Bane, all you guys. I love you guys. Congratulations on a crazy server. The Merc guys, I really don't know you guys all that well, but I know Jabba is involved quite a bit and Vinny. So wishing you all the best in your, whatever it is y'all be up to in your future seasons. Down in Gondor, you've got Vena with Panda, and arguably Gondor was the strongest kingdom on the server. I don't think there are very many people that would dispute that. So congratulations on uh, an incredible server, really hard fought. The guys over in Bear, like Lucifer, Ryan, another amazing team. And then, of course, the folks over in Order and Lame, Wad, Rob, Big Daddy, outstanding team. And Order, particularly want to give a shout out to Maddox. I really enjoyed a video that he posted on YouTube earlier in the season. The music was phenomenal, and I loved it. And you're a great guy, and just want to give Maddox in particular a huge shout out for everything that he has done and brought to this game over the course of many, many seasons played. So, this is the map. This is the final map. This is the last time you get a chance to stare at the map forever. This is the big boy battle pin, 27.2 million deaths. Crazy server. wonderful server, epic server, stressful server, and it's done. So that's going to be all for me for today. Thanks for taking the time to watch my video. I look forward to bringing you new videos in a couple of weeks when um, the next server with Utes and some of these teams start. Like I said, if you're interested in coming and joining, hit me up. I'm around. I'm excited. Looking forward to hopefully having a big server. We want it to be balanced. We want big fights, low toxicity. Big fights, ideally with low toxicity, would be really great. Just play the game, roll the dice, see what happens, see who wins. I think that all these elite teams are really at this point pretty much even in terms of strength and capability. So let's just have some fun and beat each other up. That's what the game is all about. All right, my friends, that's enough jibber jabbering from your cheerleader and ambassador of Rise to War, Turgon the Wise, signing off. Have a wonderful week and weekend ahead, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care now. Cheers.